Hey everyone, good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. And I don't know, Teddy Bear is having a little conniption over here. I don't know why. But today we're going to be creating this card. It says, "Thanks a Latte." This is developed from a card that I made a long time ago. I'm going to show you how to put it together, and then also we're going to do some basics of Joy cards this morning. But before we do that, I wanted to say hello to everyone and welcome. Today's Friday of Cricut Chat, so it's the last day of the week for Cricut Chat, and then we're going to be meeting tomorrow night, and tomorrow night on Cricut Date Night, which is at 7 o'clock. Eastern time here on Facebook at the Miss Rita to the Rescue page. Tomorrow night's date night topic is all about fonts and text boxes and just general information about adding text to your projects. Okay, so that's going to be a fun topic, and we'll also do some giveaways on that show tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Emmy, Aledra, Judite, Terry, Penny, Dorothy, Midge, Lynn. Good morning, Tara. Good morning, everyone. So we're going to be making this little card. I really liked this saying, "Thanks a Latte." I just think it's kind of funny, and I like coffee. So I developed this for as a thank you card for my son's camp counselors a few years ago, and I had the habit of always giving them Dunkin' Donuts gift cards at the end of the season. So that's what I developed this card for. And so I thought, let's make this, but I wanted to make some changes to it, including I want to put a sentiment on the inside and change the background to like a coffee colored. And you'll notice I did put this paper. You can't see too much of it. I suppose I could use that for the card. That paper is from this stack, which is very old. It's called Vintage Collector Stack. It's by Die Cuts with a View, or DCWV. And I used that just for the background here to create sort of like a little bit of visual interest there. And then I wanted to show you too that this thanks a latte was actually one saying altogether, and I broke that up really simply, and I wanted to show you that little trick. So that is what we're doing today. So let's start off with my iPad, because I'm using my iPad for this project. And hi, Michelle. And you'll notice here that I do have also a saying here. And then I have this coffee cup, which consists of 3 elements. It's like the tan or off-white, and then we got this sort of tan color, and then the black, brown. I think it's brown, actually. And it goes together like this, and then there's a little heart that goes over it. I got this image from a Design Space. I'm going to give you this whole file so that you can play around with it. But I got this image from Design Space. And here are our 2 layers. You could cut these out with your trimmer, or you can do it on your machine. And, another thing to think of is that I liked this little bit of edge around it, but then I thought, maybe I want it to be even more so. So I probably will resize this. To resize something, you just go to Edit, and here are the sizes. Okay, so it's right now at 4 by 5, and this piece here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, because that's the size of an A2 card. right? The front of an A2 card. So if I wanted to like maybe show even more of this background, I would probably take it down by 1/4 of an inch on either side. So this is how I would do it. So I want it maybe to be 3.75. So I just touch on the width here and do 3.75. And then I would have to unlock it. Oh, hello. Hello from Kenya. Wonderful. So we had it at 4 by 5. So 3 by 3 and 7, 3 3/4 of an inch by, you know, maybe 4. That seems like that's going to work. Let's see if it works on our iPad. So this kind of gives it a little bit extra on the top, but not so much on the side. So if we wanted to make it a little bit smaller, hi Rosalind, hi Heron, then we might want to bring it in on the width, right? Am I right on this? The width, the height looks fine, 4.69. Is that right? Yeah. But I think maybe, let's try this, 3.5. No, that's too small. So let's go back to 3.75. So this is a great way to kind of visualize it before you cut it out. So I like this. I think I like this, like that. That way I'm going to be able to see that background a little bit better. And it's really a pretty background. Let me show you. Excuse me again. So here is the paper from that vintage collection, and I just love it because it's got the phone and the typewriter, and they're all in the hexagons, which I love, you know. And so I think that's really cute. So I want to see more of it in the background of the card. Okay. So also to talk about is this, the saying. This came in as one piece, and I want to show you how we're going to redo it so that I can cut it up, because I think, no, well, you don't necessarily have to cut it because they're not connected. But if you had a saying that was connected and you wanted to redo it, you would just duplicate it. Let me just show you that technique. So here is our image, and we're going to go down to, let's see, edit or actions. Actions. Here's actions, and we could hit duplicate like this. So by duplicating it, and then we have to ungroup it because it is grouped. So by duplicating it and then ungrouping it, we're able to take off the pieces. So we've got this green piece, we've got the pink. You see how the pink is all together, but it's not touching. So that's going to be fine because when we cut it out, we can put that thanks at the top of the card, like I did here, and then a latte on the bottom of the card. I think I have allergies, but I apologize. So here is also a text sentiment that I did that says your kindness means so much. But because we're doing a joy card, you notice it doesn't have a background. And that is fine because we're going to use our cut piece of card to do this, and I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So when you're doing a sentiment on the inside of a joy card, you do not need a background because you're going to use the card mat to write the sentiment there. So I just have to find my card mat because I know it's around here somewhere. So let's go ahead and start cutting this, and I want to start off by cutting the actual blank for the card, or the base for the card, as I search around. Hold on, I got to get my card mat, wherever it is. You know, I can't find my card mat. All right, I may not be able to show you that because I don't have my card mat, but let's start off with the base anyway, so you can know. So in this case, I want to use this piece of paper. It's 12 by 12. Now, I've shown you a number of times how to cut the 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, but I've never shown you how to cut the 12 by 12. So I wanted to show you how to do that. The easiest way that I've come up with, and perhaps there's somebody that knows a better way, is to turn the 12 by 12 sheet of paper into an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. And I do that by putting it in my trimmer and first cutting at 11 inches. Thanks, Susan. And then I flip my cardstock over, and I'm going to do 8.5, precisely 8.5. Now, I do have these 2 strips of paper which we can use on another project, so we'll put that aside. Now I have an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper, and we're going to cut it in half as if we had started with 8.5 by 11, and half of that is 5.5, which is right here. And we measure from right to left, not from left to right, okay? So we're going to cut this in half. And now we have 2 perfectly sized A2 cards that we can use as card bases. We can also score it. I showed you that yesterday. I have a scoring piece that goes inside of my trimmer. And to remove that, you just sort of bend, not too much, but you sort of like pull apart those 2, take off the cutting blade. And by the way, someone asked me, does this trimmer come with a scoring blade? It does not. It's separate. You have to buy it separate. You can buy it with a new blade and a scoring blade on the Cricut website. So for this, the scoring, and for the cutting blade replacement, it is like $5. So well worth it if you have a Joy and you want to do, cut your own card pieces. Okay. So let's see. So we'll take one of those half of an 8.5 by 11, and we're going to score it, not cut it. We're going to score it at the halfway mark. So half of 8.5 by 11, this long way, which I want to make sure I got this right. So this is 5.5. 5.5. I might be off a little bit. 5.5 by 4.25, but 8.5. Okay, here we go. I had a little extra. I'm using my scoring so that I can now cut this little piece. I wanted to make sure I got it correct. So now I want to score. So half of the 8.5 by 11 is 4.25 right here. So I have my scoring piece in there, and I'm just going to gently do that so that I now have scoring here, and I can fold my card. Okay. Now, if we had a card mat, which I can't seem to find around here in this mess, we would put the description or the sentiment on the inside, but unless it sort of makes itself known in the next few minutes, then we're going to have to just pretend, and I'll have to do it separately or something. But I've done it a couple of times before, so I know you guys could figure it out. Basically, you would take this card, and you could open it this way if you wanted to, put it in your card mat, and then you would put the sentiment using a pen. This is the pen. Using a pen to write on the inside. This is different than if you're working on a Maker or an Explore. You would have a background of your card, which will be in the file. Okay. So let's see. So we also have a number of colors or a number of things to cut out here. Let's see. I'm going to hide this one here because we're not going to be doing that today. All right. So we have our cup, which consists of all of these little pieces, our saying, and then our two fronts that are like going to be like mats, okay? So I want to make sure that I'm connected to my Joy. I do that by going to my settings and go to Bluetooth and make sure that my Joy is connected. So there it is connected. And then I'm going to go to my design and I'm going to hit make it. Now, this is a card, but we're not going to be using the card mat. At least, yeah, we're not going to use the card mat because I can't seem to find my card mat. So we're going to use on the mat as the material type. Without a mat is for smart materials. On the mat is for everything else, unless you're doing the insert cards. Okay, so we're going to do on the mat, and you'll see that my pieces are showing up here. I think I have 6 mats, right? They're all set. This is an easy card to cut once you have it all laid out for you. So I do have, let's see, I want to make sure I have all my mats together. So here's my my light one, my cream colored one. This is going to be, let's see, move this. This is going to be, yes, I'm going to share the file, Emily. So you don't have to worry about recreating this yourself, but you will need to make some changes if you want to cut it on the maker. Well, maybe not. You just have to shade out certain layers if you're going to use it on the maker, okay? So I have all of my pieces here, except for, where's my dark? Okay, there we go. And you notice that I'm using bits of scrap for this, which is fine. I measured them out. I know they're all going to fit. So let's hit continue. And I'll put the file in as soon as the video is over. I'll go back and put the file in the description. So, and if you're watching from YouTube on replay, go to the description of this video to pick up the free file, okay? So we're going to pick a material because I have here my favorites, and here also is popular. Actually, you could use popular and choose medium cardstock because that's what the setting that I always use for my cardstock. So I think I'll just choose this from my favorites. Now, one of the things that I want to do here is I want to remember this setting because it's all of the images that I'm cutting out are going to be on medium cardstock. So I'm going to choose that, remember the settings, okay? So here up here are all of my mats, you see? So this is just a piecing project, really. So let's get started. We can start anywhere, by the way. So it's showing me to do the blue. It's not really blue. It's green. Oh, sorry. Let's pull the Joy up here. So here's my Joy. A little discombobulated today, but okay. So here's my Joy, and all my pieces are here ready to go onto or into the Joy. So the first one up is this green, and you notice there are 2 little, like, I don't know what they are, like emphasis markers or flourishes, maybe you call them. And we're going to put this in there. I think it's going to be big enough. I hope so. And we're going to just hit, once it takes it in, we're going to hit OK here, or go, right? So hit go, and it's just going to cut it out. Very fast. move this so you can see it all. So even though it's 6 mats, I find it's kind of easy to do on the Joy because you're like right in there with the files. It's a little bit different with the reaching. So here we go. Oh, and look, it's not cutting all the way through, and that's not a good thing. So I'm going to trim it up with my scissors, but I might want to change the pressure on my Joy. So let me do that and let me show you, because I don't like for my pieces to look kind of messed up. All right, so see, this is what I mean. Didn't cut all the way through, and when you do push it through, you may have to sort of cut around that. Don't want to do that, right? So one of the quickest ways to get around that is to change the pressure. No, don't worry about it, Dawn. So here is our brown cardstock, and we're going to change the pressure on this so it will cut all the way through. So we do that by hitting under pressure. It says default, and we can choose more. Okay. And that way it will cut through. Like it's almost at the cut through place, but not quite. So let's try it with this one. And sometimes, I generally use the Michaels cardstock. Here we hit go. I generally use the Michaels cardstock to cut out things, and that's usually medium, but I do think for this particular card with some of this cardstock, it's not all Michaels cardstock. Some of it might be from cardstock that I got when my local AC Moores went out of business. I bought out the rest of their inventory. So here we go. So I did more, and it's cutting out a little bit better. But I think maybe I might want to change. I mostly use 65 pound, and this probably is like 100 pound, or it might be like 85 or something, 80. So in the event that you picked the wrong, see how thick this is versus this, which is a lot thinner. Plus it's textured. Right? So if you pick the wrong material and you're in the middle of a cut, you can change that. So if the added pressure didn't work and you wanted to choose a different material, you can just hit that material setting and go and look for something that's a little bit hard, a little bit thicker. And in this case, if I'm trying to think if the rest of my pieces come from that, it's thicker. No, I think that we might be okay, but this is how I would do it. Now, under cardstock, I only get 3 choices: glitter, insert, cardstock, and medium cardstock, which is 80 pounds. But that's what I've been using is medium cardstock. So I'm going to try glitter cardstock for this one, okay? 80 pound is it. So the higher you go, the thicker it is. So, like for instance, paper that you put in a printer is, I think it's like 15 or 20 pounds versus there's some really heavy cardstock. And then they have something called cover cardstock, which is really super thick and probably wouldn't even be cuttable on the Joy. Will definitely be cuttable on the Maker or the Explorer. But in this case, we're going to trick out the system and we're going to, whoops, where is it? I don't want to do, so we're going to have to unload this. We're doing the wrong one. I want to do this one. So see, if you put in the wrong mat, you can unload and then you can reload. So this one here, we're going to choose materials Let's try glitter cardstock because it's kind of thicker and it has this texture on it. So let's try that. So you don't have to just stick with what the machine or what you think is going to be the right thing. If you're having, issues with it cutting through. So let's do the glitter cardstock and see how that goes. Meanwhile, I am cutting out my little flourishes that didn't cut all the way. And I'm making a little pile over here. Of my cut pieces. Does the cardstock? No. Generally, if you're buying like the Michaels brand, it will tell you on the front of the package, but it doesn't, nothing is stamped on the Michaels brand. Nothing is stamped on the Cricut brand cardstock either. But if you buy Basil, which if I can't find the right cardstock color in Cricut, because I like the Cricut stuff, it will have what size it is, and also the color, which I really like about Basil. It has like a little extra strip on the top. Okay, so look. That was cut on the glitter cardstock setting. Now, it may be that I need to change my blade. I don't know. And I don't have an extra blade hanging around here. So, but if you do need and have a blade, this is all you have to do is take out your housing. And this is just, the Joy just has this one. So you take out your housing and there is the blade right there. So you would just hit this little plunger thing and out comes the blade. It's small. Okay, here we go. Here's the little blade for the Joy. But since I don't have a replacement for this, I'm going to put this one back. You can take this out anytime, and when we do writing, we take it out anyway, and it doesn't need any specific thing except just close the clamp, okay? So the next piece is going to be this one, I believe. This is our patterned. Yep, okay. So we're going to choose, I don't know, let's try the glitter cardstock. Who knows? It's not like it's going to really hurt it. And it wouldn't cut all the way through. Now, I've seen some people who use some pretty strong or more pressure settings for something, and it has cut through their mat. But it's like if they chose something like chipboard or something and put it through them, and that's for like the other machines. Glitter cardstock setting also cuts it twice, so that's what we're seeing here. Okay, so unload. So here you go. So there is this piece, which is our background, our mat. I'm going to put that aside. Next up is our pink for the heart and the writing. Yeah, I like that paper. Again, it comes from Die Cuts with a View. I don't know if they still have it, but it's really cool. So we just have a couple more pieces to cut out. This is the pink. And I'm going to hit go. So I have all my little pieces over here. And it's cutting out the wording and the heart. And again, if you're late arriving, this is what we're making. This is a Latte card. This was, I guess you'd call it my original design, because I took images from Cricut Design Space and put together this cute little coffee cup with the heart, and then the saying I matched up, and then I put the two mats here, and it's on the base of a card. So again, tomorrow night, we're going to be doing the episode that we were talking about last week about text boxes and fonts and all of that stuff. So if you're interested in that and using writing, if you're afraid of doing writing on your cards, we're going to show you how that works too, and how to switch off your, to turn something from a cut to writing. So that's something we can do as well. So let me just put this next one in. There's our cut for the saying. This part is for the the band on the cup. Good morning. Thank you. And, you know, if you have some... yeah, it's fun. It's fun, but it's a little scary for some people. So there's our little piece for the coffee cup. Is that all that I have? I guess so. Okay. Where's my... No, I need my... Oh. Oh, okay. I know what I wanted to do. I know that we did this, but it didn't cut all the way through, so I want to do it again. And so I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. Where is it? Here it is. I'm going to have to cut it down because it's a little piece, right? So I'm going to cut it down. And when I cut it down, Man, I'm clumsy today. Okay, here we go. Clumsy today. So when I cut it down, I usually cut it at either 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 inch. 4 1/2 inches is how wide. So here, 4 1/2 is how wide we want to cover the entire width of the mat. Okay, so we'll do it on this one. This I think I like a lot about the Joy, that you have to fiddle around with it for the other machines, is that you can go back and recut any pieces that you want. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We're recutting this piece because the first time we cut it, it didn't cut all the way through for some reason. So I'm going to choose that glitter setting. Glitter. I'm going to choose that. Meanwhile, while that's cutting out. Yeah, that's true. So Dorothy's saying, you know, I have to go in order because I forget which one I did. And that is the difference between the Joy and the Maker. Hello. Gotta pause it. Pause. Well, that didn't work out, huh? So we're going to unload because this is what happened. This didn't work out well. So we're going to make sure that paper is on there real good. Okay. And let's choose that glitter cardstock. All right, now we're going to go. Do not mess up on me. I'm not having a great demonstration day. Yep. Okay, so Dawn's asking if we're going to do any giveaways for a Joy. I think that we'll probably do a Joy giveaway starting. Oh man, I am really having a hard time with this. All right. I don't know what's going on. So let's see. We got our piece anyway. So let me move you. It's not joyful today. It's giving me a hard time. Sometimes. So here's our original card, right? We've got the base. You know, it's really not the Joy so much as it is me. I'm just, I don't know, a little discombobulated today, I guess. So there's our first mat, okay? Yeah, I might just need a new mat. You're right. And there is my second mat, and don't confuse mat with the mat that we used. Yeah, I'm a little just discombobulated today. Anyway, so here is our coffee cup, and this is the brown. What did I do with the, oh, here it is. Here's the sort of tannish color. Again, I've got to, you know what I think it is, Susan, is I think I need a new blade. I'm finding that I have to change my blade a lot more frequently with the Joy than I do with the Maker. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, that it might be working with both machines, but the blade I have to change. Yeah, if there's anything about me is that I do definitely need, I definitely do honest demonstrations because we do it live. And so anything is bound to mess up. So, okay. So the way that the coffee cup goes together is it has, you did? Oh, so is you put these little 10 pieces here on the top and the bottom, sort of similar to those coffee mugs or cups that we all know so well from that name brand. And so here is our 2 pieces on there. And then we put the dark colored brown, the dark brown on the top here. So how do I know when I need a new blade? Well, you know, everybody, you know, who's using a Joy, they're just kind of working, I don't want to say working out the bugs, but everybody's new to it. But when I'm working with my other machine, I know that I need a new blade when it's not cutting all the way through on the material setting that I know normally cuts through. Okay. And then, so that's what we had to do here with the Joy, was we were not getting that full complete cut. Other times too, is if it really gets, it can't do those intricate cutting, like the words, like this kind of thing. Let me show you the words. These came out pretty good actually, but I cut it, on glitter. So that to me is an indication that I think I need a new blade. At the end, when I was showing you how to cut this mat here, and you don't have to use this mat, but I kind of like it on there, and it matches with the background. But at the end, when it was lifting, that could also be a mat issue, is what Susan was saying, that maybe I need a new mat because the stick has lost them. But I don't like to buy mats, but as I've told you guys before, sometimes you do have to buy new ones. You can re-stick them or get their stick back by using hot soapy water and a scrubby sponge. Don't use a solvent, okay? But a scrubby sponge with a lot of like dishwashing liquid, whoops, works wonders on them. So I might have to do that with this. And then I also will re-stick my my mats just in the like basic, like the corners and stuff like that. I will use something called a Zig two-way pen, and that basically just adds a little tiny bit of extra stick there so that my my paper won't lift, or my material won't lift from the mat. So that's something, if you don't like to buy mats, definitely keep them clean, wash them up. And if you want, you can get a Zig two-way pen. They're available. I'm trying to think where I got them last. I think I got it at Amazon. It's called the Zig repositionable two-way glue. Might be able to show it to you in a second when I'm done with this. So okay, so here's my, and these are little tiny pieces, yeah. So you have to be very precise, and I'm using, this is the glue that I use, and it is it's called Art Glitter Glue, which if you're looking for it, there is a link or there will be a link in the description if you're watching this live, but or if you're watching this as a replay, there'll be a link in the description on where you can get it. It's not the only place where you can get it, but I am an affiliate there. But you can also get it like on Etsy. And I think Amazon, somebody ordered it from Amazon. It took a while. I don't know. I don't think I've ever, have I ordered? Yeah, I have ordered from Amazon before this glue, but I liked this place called Create for Less, and I put a link in the description. Okay, we're getting done. We just have to put these little tiny flourishes on, and then we'll put the card together. You know, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, this would be, if you don't like to work with all these little pieces, you could substitute vinyl, adhesive back vinyl, for, put it on your, sorry about that. You can put it on your card and make it easier to layer it, okay? So to put this together, here's our back, here's our first mat, here's our second mat, there's our cup, and there are two pieces that are the same. Oh, okay, Dawn, sorry. So yeah, there, for giveaways for the Joy, I know that they did a lot when they first came out, and each individual product expert has their own giveaways, and I have seen Carol Prevost in Canada do Joy giveaways. I'll probably do one next month, but I tend to do smaller giveaways because I like to be able to give away smaller gifts, but more of them. But I have never given away a machine this year. I used to do it last year, but I switched it up to smaller things. So maybe I'll do a Joy giveaway later on in the year, or machines, other machines as well. Easy presses or the mini. So you tell me what you guys want to win, and then I can do it. But just know that, I mean, I can't give away as many machines as I do when I give away materials or tools. By the way, the giveaway this month is tools, and it includes that that cutter, that personal trimmer that I always am raving about, and True Control knife, which I love and I use all the time. So, all right, so we're putting on these pieces. You can choose to put foam dots if you want, it to like stick out or something if you want. or you can just put these pieces on. But again, you could cut out this in vinyl and then layer it. Yeah, I like to spread the love, so to speak. I just like to have many. I'm sure it probably drives them crazy over at Cricut, but but for me, I like to have many people who win, and then so more people can feel like they can win something. Yeah, a mini press. We could do the mini presses. Those are fun. So here's our card. And again, we could do a sentiment on the inside, and I am going to give you the file for this. And so look for it if you're watching this live. You'll have to look for it afterwards when I repost it on the replay. Then the file will be listed there. And it's a really simple card. It can be made into a larger size, like a 5x7 size if you want to do it on your Explorer or on your Maker. And then you can do it that way, or you can do it on the Joy. Any machine you have, really, you can just make those changes from that file, okay? But it's the way it's set up is set up as an A2 in the file. So that is our Thanks a Latte original. And sorry about all the little mishaps this morning, but we made it through. Yay! And we're good to go for later on for tomorrow night to do text boxes. So I hope you join me then too at 7 o'clock Eastern time on Facebook. Miss Rita to the rescue. We're going to be doing fonts and text boxes and all of that. All right. Yeah, I think that you've never won before, Donette. You've never won anything before. Yeah, the True Control knife is awesome. Thank you, Lynn. Oh, okay. So Dawn, maybe, so people are talking about the True Control knife, and maybe next week I can give you a demonstration of what it does, because it really is a fabulous, thing, not to be afraid of it, but it is sharp. It is sharp. So I can show you how to change the blades and how to use it properly. It's really a great tool for anyone, whether you're working with vinyl or paper. It's perfect. So we can do a demo next week on that, okay? All right, so I think that's going to do it for today. Again, come back and get the file if you're watching this live. And if not, just check the description of the video. I hope that you enjoyed this file. Again, it's, not a perfect demonstration, but I'm not perfect. So I want to show you. Yes, you can change the blades. Yeah, you can change the blades on the Joy, just to show you. Someone's asking, Anna. So here's all you have to do, Anna, is take out the housing and you press this with the plunger. There's your blade. It's very small. And then you just put that in there and put it back, put a new one in, close it up. That's it. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We'll see you again tomorrow night, and I look forward to that, and enjoy the rest of your day and most of Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here on Miss Rita to the Rescue. Thanks, everyone. Bye.